Hello, today we're answering the question, does your New Year's resolution pass this test? Hi, I'm Kate Varness, clarity coach for busy women. And if you have made a goal this calendar year as we turn to the new year, you can find out whether it's built on a good foundation with this simple question. So first of all, let's just take stock. Have you figured out the logistical details of your goal? These might include having a plan for when, where, how, and with whom you are going to implement your goal. Maybe you've created the right environment with supportive people and the supplies that you need for the goal. Maybe you've taken away the naysayers and the temptations. Perhaps you've already gotten some things in place for breaking your goal down into incremental, attainable steps. Maybe you are using techniques such as setting timers, action reminders, using visualization to imagine that success in your mind, or choosing a mantra to help you get back on track when things don't go as planned. So if you've done those things, congratulations. Those are really important pieces of goal setting and your New Year's resolution success. But it's just one part of it. Logistics are great, but we know that you can come up with all sorts of schemes and plans, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have the motivation to do that. So here's the deal that I want you to understand today, that those plans aren't going to amount to a hill of beans unless the goals are based more on what your heart's desire is and less on what others people think that you should be, do, and have. So let me give you an example. And the example I'm using today is Julia. Julia is 45 years old. She's a mom of two teenagers. And in 2022, she quit her corporate job to start a her own consulting business, because she knew that her expertise could be really useful in making a difference in her industry. And she couldn't do that when she was just a cog in the machine of her company, corporation. So Julie's made some money in the last couple of years, but not nearly as much as her salary was at her corporate job. And her husband, Luke, is wondering, maybe, did Julia leave too soon? Did she make a mistake? And this does make Julia question herself. However, deep down, she knows that there really was no other option than uh, to leave her job. She was just incredibly burned out. So she has a goal this year to 10x her income. And even though she had that goal last year and she failed at it, she knows that this year is going to be the year that she makes the same amount as her previous salary. And at that point, Luke's going to see the validity of her career shift. So she's made a vision board. She's going to look at that every day. She's got a fresh new planner that's going to help maximize her productivity. And she has an inner commitment that no matter how many hours it takes, no matter what it takes, she is going to accomplish this goal. She has to. So there's your example. Let's consider this example and evaluate whether Julia's goal is built on a solid or shaky foundation. So I have a key question, and this key question is going to be tweaked and you'll get to apply it in just a few minutes. The question is Julia's 10x goal based on her inner desire or based on something she's trying to prove to others? What do you think? Now, I think that whether um, that there is aspects of Julia's goal that are pulling on being able to use her gifts. And there is something there that she is really driven and motivated to do. But that more than that, the motivator is around proving her worthiness, certainly to her husband, Luke, and probably to some others, maybe family members or former coworkers, etc. But this basis of worthiness is just on one single success factor, and that's money. So I want you to know that there is nothing wrong with money goals. It's the shaky foundation of this goal is coming from the desire to prove that she's worthy and lovable because she can attain it. So resolutions like proving yourself to others put you in a pressure cooker. And that sounds like I have to achieve blank, or people will think I'm lazy, or if I don't look like this, people will think I've let myself go. Maybe it will sound like I won't be successful until I make this thing happen, or I'm not a good enough boss or mother or daughter or friend if I don't do this. So, can you hear the theme here? There's a conditional aspect in this approach. And many resolutions are built on the idea of not being good enough, worthy, or lovable until a certain thing happens. But it doesn't have to be this way. Reaching goals can feel so good when you're in flow, but you can't be in flow and in a pressure cooker at the same time. Here's the deal. Pressure cooker is using a different part of your nervous system, the fear-based part. And the flow aspect taps into creativity and inspiration, and that's able to happen when you feel a sense of safety. So let's look back at Julia. What would her self narrative sound like if she is tuned into that flow, into that place of safety, inspiration, and creativity? It might sound like this. It feels so good to get paid for my expertise. Every day I am connecting with people who are looking at my expertise. I love to use my gifts. I know this is the right path for me. I get to rest and relax along the way. Can you hear how different this sounds and how much stronger of a foundation and motivation that this can provide? So now it's time to take your resolution through the test. This is the question you'll ask yourself. Am I trying to prove that I'm worthy and lovable by achieving this goal? Say that again. Am I trying to prove that I'm worthy and lovable by achieving this goal? If the answer is yes, I am trying to prove something, don't dismay. You can tweak your resolution by uh, considering this other question. And I'm gonna actually ask you to finish the sentence. If I had nothing to prove, I would want to what? What would you want to do if you had nothing to prove? Take a few minutes to just pause this recording and jot some things down and see if you can shift the language more to that inner motivation, that inner good feeling. It doesn't depend on any condition, but it's just what you'll experience with nothing to prove. Now, if you had difficulty answering that sentence, completing that sentence I just mentioned, it might be a signal that it's taking a closer look. You might need support. You might need that additional help in connecting to your heart's desire. And that's something that I can help you with. Look for the link below to set up a time to talk. Let's just see. Let's see what that means for you. And if if it's something that you would like some support with. Thanks for watching and Happy New Year.